Everybody, it's Smashing Game Time. We're three brothers that talk about gaming's the back catalog of gaming's yesteryear. There we go, live show, baby. We're doing our first ever live show. That's right, we're live right now on Twitch. If you are with us, thank you for hanging out. We have an exciting show for everyone today. We are doing 2018 Q3. We're going to run through some hot, steamy turds and some okay games in the middle of 2018. And then we've also got our regular rundown of the news and some memes. And then at the end of the show, we're going to actually watch the latest trailer for Tears of the Kingdom and have our live reactions to it. And then at the end, we're all going to play a little game with it. Kind of a Price is Right kind of thing. But before we get to that, as always, we are a Trident Network podcast. Go check out our sibling podcast. They are awesome. We're available anywhere that you get your podcast. Find Smashing Game Time on Apple, Google, Spotify, anywhere. And then while you're there, go rate and review us. Write nice words. Give us 5 stars. We'd really appreciate that. It's a free way to support the show. Before we get into the meat and potatoes of the show, guys, what's everybody been doing?
Honestly, just been working. For those who usually watch, you see that I'm in a new location. Finally finished the office. So moved in. You can see my Breath of the Wild poster behind me. It's going to be hung up along with the Tears of the Kingdom poster right next to it, with another poster somewhere else. And we'll give a grand tour later on. I'll shoot off a video for everyone to see.
That's Josh, by the way. I forgot to introduce him. He's one of my brothers.
Yeah, would have fucked that one up. That's 3 strikes.
I'd never get to do intros again.
Nope, never again.
Hey, Josh, how come you can't put your mic on your desk?
Because there's not enough room for it. Basically, it was a closet that we turned into an office. So
Josh is in a shed right now, a shed in his basement.
That was this fat
Hey, you know what? This is my shed, though. Do you know what it's like to have to share a room, Nick?
I know.
Your whole life?
Yeah.
Yeah, I have 2 references.
Jake does. Me and Jake have never had our own anything. We've always had to share shit, Nick. You've had your own room.
I
You've
shared
had
a room
your
with
own everything.
I shared a room with Mikey and Matt when they were babies.
Yeah, when they were babies, but then and when you're in middle school and high school, you had your own shit. Me and Jake have always shared shit.
Okay.
We share a birthday.
That's
yeah.
I can't do anything for you there.
Well, no one can. Everybody shares birthdays technically, but still, to my point. I don't get happy birthday, Josh. I get a happy birthday to my twin boys, Jacob and Joshua. Do you know what that's like? Yeah. What I thought.
Happy birthday, by the way, Mom.
No.
Happy
Yeah,
birthday,
I told
Mom.
her that. I said, Mum.
Yeah, I know. I saw that and I was like, God damn it, Jake.
I just texted her happy birthday and she responded back, thank you.
I texted her happy birthday and she's like, you have drill this weekend? I'm like, yes, don't call me.
Josh, while we're on you, what have you been playing this week?
Yeah, so obviously we're going to get this out of the way now for you two to make fun of me. Genshin Impact.
Why would I make fun of you?
Because you always do every week.
Have you spent the $300 yet to get the pity rolls?
No, I don't. I literally spent like $5 and that's it. So, and even then. Anywho, been picking up, for those who are a mobile gamer, Final Fantasy Brave Exvius.
Okay.
I enjoy it.
What is that? What is that, like a turn-based Final Fantasy? What is it?
Pretty much. I mean, it's like you have like 5 to 6 characters, and they all have like different abilities, all based on like all their proprietaries or IPs. So like my team right now consists of Black Mage Golbez, Star Player Titus, however you want to pronounce it. I've got one of the main characters, alternate forms. His name's Rain, so he's like one of the main characters for like the in story game of it. Mm-hmm. And then I also have another character who's like basically just like in player character games, but they have a bunch of like other characters in there. Like I have Rubicante as a backup mage and stuff like that. It's fun.
It's basically just a giant crossover of
basically
Final Fantasy games.
I was wondering when they were going to do that, but outside of Kingdom Hearts.
Well,
I mean, the game's been out for a while.
Like what, Jake? 2014?
Yeah, something like that. Maybe 2015. I remember doing some streams of it on my own when I lived with you, Nick.
See,
I mean,
had no
it's a
idea this
fun
was
game,
thing.
and it's still going. Like they have a bunch of stuff to it, and they're always adding things to it.
Like
So
honestly, Josh, if you like really want to play that game, I would recommend streaming it because when I streamed it, I was getting about 50 viewers on average.
I mean, that's probably going to be one of the games I end up streaming. I just, like I said, I'm figuring things out and trying to get it all working.
People love their
But,
Final Fantasy, apparently.
Five, I'm excited for 16. I'm ready for that bad boy to come out later this year.
The Game of Thrones theme looking stuff doesn't really tickle my pickle.
I don't care about the Game of Thrones stupid bullshit look bite. I'm just excited because I mean 15 was okay. I mean it wasn't, the best, but I'm excited to see what they do with this one because the trailers, it looks fantastic. So moving on. I actually went to my local library to support them, and they had Atomic Heart for me to rent. So I rented that.
That's the Russian BioShock game, right?
Correct.
The one that people are all up in arms about, like, oh, if you play this, you're giving the Russians your info and all that shit.
Right, which I don't understand that really.
Josh was already giving his info to the Russians, so he's like, piss posh.
I'm gonna do the same thing I do with the Chinese. I don't give a shit. Like, where they get, we're here to find out what I like. Good job. Like, I mean, and for those who are like, you're giving the Russians and Chinese your info, dude. We're giving the U.S. her info at this point. Like, what are they gonna do with that? Hey, we know you like bukakis. Great, congratulations. What are you gonna do with it? You gonna blackmail me? Guess what? I'll blast that shit right now. I love bukakis. Let's go.
We know DP doesn't mean Dr. Pepper.
No, it means double penetration, baby.
Oh man, I wanted to put that on TikTok. I don't think TikTok allows bukkake talk though. Oh my god.
I'm just saying, like, if someone's like, I've always said, if anybody's ever gonna blackmail me, they're gonna have a hard time. Like, I'm gonna tell your wife you like this, dude. She knows I like it, and she's into it as well. Let's go.
Some shady government's gonna kidnap Josh and be like, "Hey, we heard you like bukkake." And he's like, "Yeah, so." And they're like, "All right, death by bukkake it is." And
Worth it.
Ooh?
I take that sacrifice for the home team. I'll go up to heaven and get my 30 virgins.
I mean, that's like those people that are like, I'm not on social media because they're taking all the info. Like, it's 2023. Like,
well, it's more like the people who are like, I don't want the government knowing all my info. Motherfucker, if you're carrying one of these, I don't want it shipping me. I don't want to get the boosters and stuff for COVID shots because the government will track me. I'm sorry, what?
I'm of the mindset all they need to know is where you're at, and woohoo, they got you. Josh, this game, what besides finding out that you like bukkake, how you liking it?
I'm liking it so far. So obviously, for those who know me, I like to play on the hardest difficulty it gives me at first. So I picked the hardest one, and I think it's harder than BioShock so far.
It's tough. The physics. It's a very weighty game. Like you can feel every swing of a weapon.
Yes, and I'm feeling it because not only that, but the robots are so much faster with like their reactions. Like there's a certain abilities they can do where you can easily dodge them, and then there's some that they do that like it gives you indication that they're going to do it, and you have to like use like the dodge button to actually move away from it. They're so fast with it, and I'm not, like you said, it's such a weighty game. Mm-hmm. I can't tell you how many times I've died because I'm accidentally like pressing R1 when I meant to press circle to dodge, or I'm at least trying to get another swing in to kill them before they hit me, and they're just too quick. That's one type of robot I fought so far.
How far are you only like in the opening hours?
Yeah, I'm basically within like the first hour of the game.
It takes a little bit to take off. Like once you run into
it's
the
like a good like 20 minutes.
Get inside, yeah.
Yeah, I mean, literally, because it's like, oh, you're going to go to this facility, and you get there, and you go up to the top, and your boss doesn't even greet you. Then he's like, okay, well, take this key and go do this. And then you get into basically a car, which turns into like a hot air balloon sort of thing, but it's actually a robot. And it takes you to the next area, and then it's a cutscene, and then finally it gives you a weapon, and you find a down robot to kill. And it's like, okay, well, here you go. Merry Christmas.
Oh, you didn't even mention the most agonizing part, the fucking, like, 5-minute, 10-minute boat ride at the beginning where you're just watching.
Oh, yeah, where you're just watching it. Oh, my God.
And you're just like, oh, and you're like talking to your guy's talking to his watch, and you're like, oh, I already hate both of you. Or his glove. I already hate both of you. Just let me.
I mean, that's literally the first 20 minutes of the game is them talking to each other. And he's like, hey, Have you tried the jerk function?
Oh no.
Well, here, Mr. Glove, it's Charles. Whatever. Get to work.
All right, Charles, I got a job for you. Disgusting.
Things are going to be a little tight.
Atomic Hearts, you disgust me with your
Yeah,
glove with a job.
I think it's a fun game so far. Like, it's the same thing of people who are like, oh, if you buy Hogwarts Legacies, you are against trans. No, like, you can be against whoever the fuck her name is.
J.K. Rowling.
J.K. Rowling, yeah. Like, you can be against her, but WB owns that, Harry Potter, so it's like...
J.K.'s getting her money either way.
Yeah, like, at that point, like, I'd rather give money to the studio because it's a well-deserved... Like, they worked really hard in this game. It did fantastic. It looks fantastic. Like... Give them credit. They deserve that shit.
Give them credit, but also I think we talked about this in a previous episode. I think Harry Potter adults are just as bad as Disney adults, and I say fuck them all.
Oh yeah, I can't stand that. Oh, we're gonna have a Harry Potter party. We're gonna watch all 9 movies, whatever how many there are.
Josh, you're such a fucking Hufflepuff.
I'm a Slytherin, bitch.
Oh my god, you fucking
Ravenclaw.
are. Oh my god, stop it. Jake's the fucking Ravenclaw of the bunch, isn't he? Is that all from our resident Slytherin, Josh? Are you done?
Yeah, I'm done. That's all.
All right, going over to Ravenclaw. Ravenclaw, what you got for us, Jake?
You called him every damn house in the damn series.
I didn't call him Gryffindor.
Well, he called me Hufflepuff first because I'm fat. Let's be honest.
I don't think the Hufflepuffs are fat, Josh. It's just fun to say.
Have you seen more than one Hufflepuff on screen with the movies?
No, because only one can fit on the screen at a time.
Exactly. Point proven right there. Moving on. Ravenclaw, what you got for us?
Jake, other brother Jake, who I didn't introduce at the beginning of the show. What are you up to, my dude?
Ravenpaw here. So, your typical Brawlhalla and TFT, but I got some more stuff. I've been playing a lot of Brawl Stars lately. After being at DreamHack and seeing that major they had going on, it was actually really entertaining. I used to play Brawl Stars all the time, and they actually announced a big update that's coming out, I think, next week. Actually later this week, of new brawlers coming out. Just like new everything. It's a huge update, major update, a lot of big changes. People are excited. I'm excited. It's awesome. Can't wait. I've been playing some Rust. Rust has been fun lately. Been playing that with Matt, one of our other brothers. Brawlhalla also came out with an update on the power rankings. I am now 87th in the US.
Out of 88?
Yes.
Okay. Just checking.
In ones, and then I think I'm 151 in twos. So that's cool.
Nice, man.
I think that's about it.
Anything shitty in Rust that you and Matt have done to people?
That's a yes.
God. Okay, here we go.
So there's a guy just,
minding his own business, walking around.
Exactly. Not walking around, just my own business, getting some stone, and I happen to sneak up on him and kill him. And I happen to hear, after he died, I hear that he spawned in a nearby nearby base. I'm like, okay, I'm gonna chill outside and wait for him to come out. So he comes out and I kill him, but then I didn't think he had a partner with him. So the other guy comes out with an arrow, with the bow, trying to kill me, and I kill them both. And I take all their shit and run. Well, then later they try to pull it on me. The guy's like, hey, I guess they found out where I live. They're like, hey, that wasn't very nice. We just want to chat, be friends. And I have a window. I could see one of the guys. So I come out with a crossbow and just pop him in the head in mid-sentence. It was so funny. And he comes back out, hey, man, I was just trying to talk to you. And I already know it's a trap. It's your typical, oh, hey, one guy's being nice, the other guy's hiding in a corner by the base. So I go out there naked because I knew it was going to happen. So I go out there, and little did I already know the guy's coming in the back, and he kills me. And the guy's like, ha, 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 we got you. Ha, ha, ha. And I'm just sitting there laughing my ass off. Like, dude, I knew this was happening. I knew you were playing.
Why did you go out naked?
I didn't want to lose any of my shit.
Was Matt with you at the time?
No, I was solo.
Okay,
Matt was on the server, but he wasn't like in the area.
gotcha.
Yeah, it was fun. Fun
Well,
times.
hey, I'm glad you didn't kill their inactive creature or whatever the shit that you do, Jake.
Oh no, Russ doesn't have any of that.
Russ is just people being disgusting towards each other. That's all it is,
Yes,
Jake.
exactly.
Or that's all it is, guys. Jake, anything else from the House of Ravenclaw?
Raven Paul. No.
Raven Jake Paul?
Yeah.
There we go. Okay, on my end, I've got a short list today. Dredge, still playing Dredge. Got a little further out of the opening hours. I am now in a swamp with a creature that follows you around, and it like the swamp has all these trees and all these different paths you can take. But what this creature does is it lifts up like blockages, like whole vines will like close off a whole path. And for those who aren't aware, Dredge is the Lovecraftian fishing game that I've been playing for a few weeks now. So taking a quest in there with like a war general to like destroy that creature. There's another area that's very beautiful. It's this coral. It's like this coral reef looking area, and at night it glows like blue and red. And in the middle of it's this creature that like if you sit still for too long, he swipes at you with like vines and his tentacles. And the creature, like I've still only captured probably half of the fish in the game. Still a lot of fun. It's my slow drip game that I'm playing through. But that's been a lot of fun. Tried to pick up 9 Years of Shadow again. I had it crash again in the middle of a boss fight. So I'm putting that one on the back burner until an update comes out and helps out with all the crashes. That's the Castlevania game with the Sailor Moon inspiration to it. A lot of fun besides the crashing. The new game I'm playing, this just came out on 420. This is Mr. Sun's Hatbox. This is a roguelike where you are building up a team and going out on missions. It's little 2D guys that all look like little circles, kind of look like, there's a character in Adventure Time that's a little circle guy with like a mustache. They all look like that guy. There's some that are skulls, some that are like square heads that have different abilities. You're basically building this team, going out on missions, trying to recover the hats for this hat box store. Going out on quests, getting legendary hats. It's just very slapstick funny. So on one mission, for example, you have all these different hats. This one guy was wearing a banana on his head, and you can like jump on enemies' heads, and the different hats have abilities. So like the one with the banana, if you step on it, you slip, and you don't take damage, but you're stunned. Another one is just a part of the road, and if you get on it, you just stand there because you can't really do anything with it. All your characters have different buffs and nerfs, and you can get rid of them by leveling up. I've lost a lot of great characters in stupid ways. So like, for example, you can pick up a dead body and snap its neck or throw it. But if you throw something and you're too close to a wall, it'll bounce back and kill you. And it's just, levels get chaotic. They get harder. There are cameras that like can shoot at you. There's random explosions. It's a lot of fun. It's the difficulty's ramping up. I'm only 5 hours in. I want to say campaign-wise, I'm about halfway, but I'm having fun with it. Gonna finish it up and get that review out by the end of the week. But that's that's all I've been playing. Usually I have the longest list, but no,
That's
just
right.
those.
Jake has it this time, and even then, his was still pretty short.
Shorter than mine, apparently.
Yeah, you monkey.
Jeez, all right.
All right. Hey, we got through what everyone's doing. You guys want to move on into 2018 Q3?
Oh yeah, let's try.
Q3. Let's do it. All right. Up first, July 3rd, Red Faction Guerrilla Remastered Edition. I really hate that that's what they call it.
Gross.
Well, I mean, the fact that we had to pick it because it's probably only one of a few exciting games you could talk about.
So for those who don't know, this game came out, I want to say, mid to early 360 PS3 era. This was it's kind of like Far Cry, right? Like the open world, like you're liberating different workstations, you're driving. The environments are pretty much fully destructive, right? I just thought everything can be destroyed.
So building wise, yes. This is not as so for those who've played all the other Red Factions, like you can't like dig a tunnel or go through every single part of the environment. This one kind of laid back to you have a sledgehammer and you're able to bust down walls like you can see in the video here, and buildings, and drive vehicles into them, and eventually you can actually, I think they have like flying vehicles, if I remember correctly, like towards the middle of the game where you can fly it around.
I think this was the best one in the series. I wasn't
I
big.
still think one's the best one still.
I wasn't big on the shooters back in the day. And then with the one that came out after this was Gorilla. Was the I think they were messing around with physics in that one. You were underground.
Yeah, well, because it's like a direct sequel to this one. It's you're playing the grandson of the main character of this one, and there was no destructive environment, so that already deterred people. So the whole idea is, instead of maybe going forward and doing something a little different, let's remaster an old game to make up the money we lost from the sequel.
When they did the thing a lot of games did around this timeline was you had your action focused ones, and then they shifted into horror, which didn't work out half the time for them.
No, it definitely did not work out for them. It's an interesting story, but it's also a very this seems familiar story.
Well, and it's really dumb that remastered. Like, come on, you guys, come on.
You're better than that.
Who needs this? Like, you could have easily just picked this up and just played the backwards compat copy.
Yeah,
Dude,
pretty much.
This was basically like, hey, we have Minecraft at home. This is Minecraft at home.
No, Minecraft is Minecraft at home, Jake. That's all I've got on the remaster. You guys got anything else on the remastered?
No, you're not missing anything if you've already played it. Don't bother. Save your money.
That guy wasn't even bleeding. He got destroyed by some ship. No blood. What is this?
Yeah. Up next, July 24th, Mega Man X Legacy Collection. Josh, this isn't Mega Man 10?
No. This is your granddad's platformer shooter, technically. So like they did of all the original Mega Mans with Part 1 and 2 Legacy Collections, they did the same thing with X. The X series, which by far, in my opinion, is the best series of the Mega Man stuff, other than the Battle Network.
I do think they're
came out.
I do think they're more
Zero?
approachable. Way more approachable.
Yes.
You didn't like Zero?
Well, no, I did, but Zero isn't as well known. Like, it goes Mega Man, Mega Man X, Battle Network, then Zero, in my opinion. Zero is still good. I have it. It's good.
Is Zero just like a reskin of X, or like is there? Because I feel like when you compare X to like regular Mega Man, this has better mobility, better shooting, better movement.
No, Zero is just
okay.
Zero
So
is its own thing. Zero is set after the X saga or the X games.
So Zero is like Shadow the Hedgehog.
Yes, very much so.
When X is like Sonic.
X is mysteriously the bad guy, and there's cyber elves, and it's good. It's just it's different.
I mean, after X, like I remember playing a little bit of X on this collection and like seeing 2 and 3, and like I'll do X and I'll be done.
The furthest I've gotten is 4. It's just I remember playing 1. I can do everything in 1 by heart because I played it so much. Never touched 2 until this came out. Interesting, but it's okay. Then I tried 3, and 3 was like, and then I got to 4, and I'm like, I played 4 before. I kind of know what I'm doing with this.
Didn't 3 have like one of the hardest Sigma fights? Isn't it like the one where you can hardly touch him and you have to shoot him? You have to be in front of him and you can only shoot his head.
And I'm pretty sure that's a trophy, is to beat him without taking a hit.
Yeah, good luck with fucking that.
Yeah, I think that was like one of the trophies. I'm like, yeah, fuck that. It ain't worth it.
Didn't they like split this into 2 parts too?
Yeah. And if you bought the Switch edition, only the first one was a physical. They didn't have a physical copy of Part 2. So you had to download Part 2 for the Switch.
It's really weird.
Yeah.
It's really weird they split it up like that.
I get why they split it up. Like, they did the same thing with the Legacy Collection. It makes sense. But for Switch to have only the first be physical, and the second you can only get it in digital is like you destroyed a collector's dreams right there. Just doing that.
And I like how, and this is like a random thought of mine, that they have Mega Man in Super Smash Brothers. Honestly, I think I would have preferred X over Mega Man.
Yeah,
Well,
but
they're
anyone
basically
playing
the same
everyone
person.
playing Smash, are they really gonna know who X is?
Yes.
I don't think so. I think people are gonna see X and be like, "Who?"
You guys realize like the same thing basically. It's just different timeline. Like, or not timeline, but
Well,
different.
no. So it's kind of like Power Rangers. Like they're all different, but they're almost all the same.
So, well, I
I
mean,
prefer
yeah,
Bass
technically,
over
right.
all of them. So
Have you guys seen the original cartoon?
Yes.
bits and pieces.
There's an episode where they actually introduce X and the Maverick Hunter, the purple guy. What's his name?
That's
The
not
guy.
Bass. Bass is the black one, right?
Yeah.
Yeah, I'm talking about the guy you fight at the end of this level. He has the
Oh,
giant
the purple guy. I forget. I know who you're
Yeah.
talking about. Yeah.
So they actually introduce both of them. Like they come back in time to Mega Man.
I mean,
You
it's
guys
all
did-
lore that none of us need to know. We don't need to
I'm
put
just
it.
saying, I thought that was cool. I didn't realize that was the thing until I saw a video and I started watching it. I was like, no way.
Do you even know the Mega Man theme song?
Mega Man.
Like Are we talking about like
The
which
show.
one are we talking?
The show.
The original?
Yeah.
I vaguely remember it, but I don't know it off the top of my head, so not by heart now.
The only theme song you need to know is Generation 3 Digimon.
No,
where they
the
start-
only you need to know is
I don't
Battle
even think-
Network or
I don't even think
Yu-Gi-Oh.
you know that one, Nick.
I'll send you guys a link after the show. Anything else
We're
on
gonna-
Mega Man?
We're gonna
Sex.
get DMC strike because we sound very close to.
They're like, oh wow, he really sounds like that Mega Man theme song.
Getting the strike.
Let's see here. July 29th, a game close to all of our hearts. Yes, even you, the audience. Raid Shadow Legends.
But first,
But first, this message brought to you by Raid Shadow Legends.
do we have a
God
clip?
damn it.
Jimmy, we got the clip. This is a commercial. This is a commercial, yeah. I think people are only aware that this is a commercial. It is actually a game.
So don't get me wrong. I did play it for a couple months, and it can be addicting a little bit, but then it kind of gets stale. You can only like,
No.
yeah, right. I mean, I do like how there's always events going on, and they've added stuff to where like you can win gift cards and shit. But like,
I mean, this is every game that has different characters and it's turn based. I mean, come on, like if you have to come up with a commercial and say that this is the actual gameplay footage, first off, you're full of shit. Secondly, it's not that like I play it on the side like every once in a while, but it's not like a everyday thing. I'm much like, well.
How
I
monetized is it? Are there
I
ads throughout your game?
Oh,
or-
No, like literally once you
no.
log in, you get like 4 or 5 pop-ups. They're like, "Oh, get this pack for $5.99 or build your own pack for $24.99." Like it's like,
Yeah.
dude, and it's got the. Here, actually, let me pull it up. real
I
quick.
thought
I'll
it
just do
was. I
this.
thought it was gonna have like external ads where it's like, "Hey, we know you're playing Raid Shadow
no,
Legends,
no,
but
no.
we wanted to check
We're
in and
gonna-
see if your dick wasn't working because we got Blue
he's
Chew
got
on
it.
sale."
He's got it.
I
on.
got it.
He's
Watch
got-
this.
No.
Oh,
So
well,
like,
that's
here's
it.
my daily login.
Hold it up closer to the camera.
Okay, so daily login. Just picked it. Oh, didn't do it. Shit.
He had it ready
Maybe
to
the next
go.
one. Maybe it's the next one. It's the
Ah.
next one. Yeah. See.
Josh was already playing He was already playing.
See,
Yep,
look,
there it is.
there it is. There's
One,
the first one. 2, 3. And there it stops.
Okay,
But
they hit you with 3
Yeah.
ads.
let's see if it'll let me pull it up. That's like if you go like to the shop, it literally pulls up every single pack that they've picked for you.
In
Build
case
your own
you
pack.
Accidentally hit the X button.
It doesn't even look fun.
Do you see the meme that they pull for this shit too?
So okay.
Yeah, I'll think it.
What I don't understand, and I'm sure there's probably answers out there for it. I just don't want to do my research. Is that like how did Raid Shadow Legends end up like becoming like the main ad for every like content creator, you know?
Money, my dude.
And then like
Follow the money.
Ninja has a character in the game. Simple has a character in the game.
Well, that's like saying, how did Fortnite become such a big thing and it's free? It's free.
Ronda Rousey, that UFC fighter that no one remembers, is a character in that game.
What would her porn name would be? Ronda Arouse Me, right?
Yes.
Probably.
Okay. I've always had that thought. I just wanted to make sure I wasn't the only one. Okay.
But yeah, I mean, it's your typical RP. It's your typical, as Jake likes to enunciate his stuff. But seriously, it's literally a turn-based game with different characters. And like Jake said, after a while, it's very stale. I mean, that's gonna be so with every game if you think about it. There's just, if to me, it feels like with Raid Shadow Legends, there's just not a variety.
It's a grind. It's just
It
a
is.
grind.
Unless you are
game.
spending constantly so much time and money on it, one, you're always gonna lose. And two, you're not going to have the best build because someone else is spending thousands of dollars to have like the top character and the best team to be able to DPS the shit out of you.
I'm sorry, I had to turn the gameplay off. It was hurting my head watching it.
I mean, you've seen it enough in the commercials. Like, I'll admit, when they at least show the battle stuff, it's real. It's just my favorite right now is the commercials come up. I don't know who the actress is, but she's like, "Wait a minute. This is not some bullshit commercial with fake gameplay. This is the real thing." And I'm just like, the fact that you have to say that means it's bullshit. Like, don't fucking say you're a pander us.
No, I think it's just because there's a lot of other games that are just bullshit.
No, they did it. They did a theory on not a theory. It's more like an explanation of how they can do it and get away with shit like that. But it's like, if you're gonna try to sell me in your game, your best bet is to actually show me true gameplay footage, not this. Oh, do you save the princess or do you make her a sex slave?
What?
Those are weird, yeah.
Those are very weird. Do you marry
hate...
your mom or do you impregnate her? Like,
oh, man.
Why are those options?
Giving me a real Sophie's choice here, narrative game.
What I hate...
Fuck, marry, or murder. Who you doing first? Sister, mom, dad.
Oh,
what?
Someone's getting murdered.
What I hate is those ones where you have like the guy like, oh, I hate this one. I'm gonna play this one, and like it shows them like trying to play the game, but like they're not actually interacting with it. That like it doesn't match up.
Dad, you need to use this promo code to get 100,000 pulls to get the lucky character.
The puzzle games where they have whoever's playing it in the commercial fuck up repeatedly just to make you angry and want to be like, oh, you're fucking dumb. Let me show you how it's done. Like everyone thinks they're so clever doing that, but they're only doing it because it works. They're only doing it because there are people that are like, no, you're doing it wrong. No.
Or if they're doing it bad, they're doing it super slow. And they're like, instead of like, oh, here's a 5 one that's very obvious. We're going to make it just a 3 because we're terrible.
I just want to make a bad game commercial. Just one. Like maybe like a Mario one where it's like, do you stick it in Mario's butt? Or do you just gives you like 2
hey Mario, I got a mushroom for you.
Oh no, stop it. Please stop it.
Mushroom stamp.
We're never doing
all you hear
live
him is
again.
doing is like,
We're never going live again. I know I did that to myself. Moving on from the dark side of mobile gaming, August 7th, Dead Cells came out. This is a roguelike, Castlevania-like, right? It's a Metroidvania.
Metroidvania, yeah, I would say so.
So I just recently played this for the first time, I want to say back in February and March, and it feels really good. There's so many weapon choices. I really love that it has pulled in like all these other indies and is like a love letter to its indie fellows. Like you have weapons from Shovel Knight. You have weapons from, what's the other game that I play? The Hyper Light Drifter. Just a bunch of different weapons. They just did that Castlevania DLC that adds a bunch of Castlevania stuff.
This is very much a Metroidvania meets Dark Souls meets indie developers.
I'd say after like how big the Dark Souls are on the internet, I'd say this is probably right behind those set of games.
Yes, I mean, I would be shocked if they don't eventually come out with some type of sequel to it, whether it be a true sequel or a love letter to it.
I could see them doing a Shovel. So like the Shovel Knight guys did a 2D game like this, and now they're doing like a top-down kind of Zelda thing. I could see this team doing something like that, where they're still doing like it's the same formula where it's a roguelike, but it's a different, I guess you could say format, or you could say different kind of game, almost.
Yeah, I could see that.
But I haven't even beaten the game, so I'm on the second or third boss. I still have a while to go. The levels change all the time, always different. Weapons feel great, movement feels great. Probably already said that. You're constantly getting upgrades, secrets everywhere.
It
a lot of
kind
fun.
of reminds me of Enter the Gungeon.
That one's on
I'm
my
sure
list
to
to
some
check out. I've never played that one.
I own it. It's pretty fun. You can play co-op too. This game, there are moments where like in the beginning when you get to choose your weapon and it's a shitty pool. I'm just like, nope, dying right here. Starting over. I need a better weapon.
Well, you
Oh,
get
yeah, I'm very much
pretty good weapons really fast, like really early.
Oh yeah, but I'm pretty much the one of those. I try not to die at all,
Mhm.
and every time I die, I'm like, God damn it! I don't want to redo it. Like I want to just keep going, but I'm like, I want to try and go as far as I possibly can without dying.
When I'm kind of getting to that point with roguelites because I played this and then I played Have a Nice Death right after this, and I got to a point where it's like I just want to experience the whole game. I don't want to like have different runs. I want one run. I want one really good run. Because yeah, you get to a point where like, especially if you hit a spot where you're just not getting through. So if you can't be like a certain boss and you're just feeling stuck, you really start to hit the wall because you're getting tired of those early areas. And then
Don't
they
get me
ramp
wrong,
up the difficulty.
it's fun. Like I enjoy it for that much, but I'm definitely like I want to be able to try and beat it. I mean, at least in one playthrough, like not dying and having to regenerate and have to start, but not over, but with a fresh new area and finding things out the hard way.
Oh, I just try to like if I'm think I'm gonna die, I'll alt F4 out real quick just to see if I can save myself from dying. Doesn't always work, but sometimes does, depending on the game.
Yeah,
Oh,
fantastic game.
This game's on every platform.
It is on
It's
every
on
platform.
everything. Holy shit!
Yeah,
I even think it's on iOS, isn't it?
Yeah, it's on iOS.
Oh,
I think it's
that'd
like
be
$5.
feels like that'd be a nightmare to play on iOS.
Well, that's why you get a controller.
Yeah, you can play controller.
Gotcha. All right, finishing up. We are finishing up September 7th, Marvel's Spider-Man, which has the best opening in a game. Like the best transition from the cutscene to the gameplay. I'm going to see if I can fast forward.
Up there with God of War, honestly.
The first God of War or
2018.
2018?
No, 2018.
Okay.
If
Holy
it's not
shit.
Toby, I don't want to hear it.
And the controversial thing that comes with this is with the remaster, they changed the way Peter looked.
Looks more like Tom. Is this Tom Holland? This isn't Tom Holland.
No, that's the remaster. It looks more like a Tom Holland. This is like they were looking for like an older, more veteran Spider-Man, which in my opinion, this looks like it. This is my Spider-Man.
This is the guy. Now, when I see Tom Holland in Spider-Man, I just want to tell him to get his ass back in class.
Yeah.
Like Tom Holland just looked like a boy. He doesn't look like a man quite yet.
No, he'll eventually get there. He's just
Him and Timothy Chalamet. I want to be like, what? Hey you, Chalamet. Hey you, Holland. Where should you be?
Is that a beer in your hand?
Get back in. Get back into class. Go.
Dude, it does. It does look like more like Tom Holland.
Yeah, dude.
The
They did that
remaster.
on-
You didn't know that?
No, well, I don't. I never played the game. I've only seen you guys play it.
That was
but,
like the big controversial thing with the remaster for the PS5 was they changed the character model to that, and it's like, really?
I wonder if he either paid for it or one of the developers was just like Tom Holland, and they just did that.
No,
I think it was like Sony got involved, and they're like, hey,
Sony was like, "Hey, Marvel wants this. They want corporate synergy. So we need Peter Parker to look a little more like their Peter Parker." Which it's annoying. I get why they did it, but still, like this is an older Peter Parker, well past where they're at in Marvel's
no, this
Spider-Man.
is Peter Parker in his prime. Like he's a veteran. He's used to everything. Like he's fought all of his villains at this point, except for Mr. Negative.
This is one of those games where I've probably played the beginning of it like 20 times and just haven't beaten this game. Like I've fought Kingpin, so it's because I come over to your place and play it, or I go over somewhere who has it and I play it. But I got like the last time I played it at your place, I think I played for about 4 or 5 hours and I collected a shitload of backpacks. You have all of Manhattan to crawl around and play in. The swinging feels good, probably the best swinging since Spider-Man 2 back in 2004.
Yep.
This was followed up by that Miles Morales sequel. We'll talk about that when we get there.
Which is just as good. I know it's basically a DLC, but it's just as good.
So good. So
like
good.
it makes me so pumped for number 2.
And they set it during Christmas, which is another just.
Oh, yeah. This just swinging in the snow is fantastic.
Oh, it's so good. It's so
Like
so
seriously, of all the superhero games that have come out, this is by far the best one in my opinion. It's up there with the X-Men Wolverine Origins.
I think it's this Spider-Man followed by Arkham Asylum,
Oh yeah, I forgot about Arkham Asylum.
followed by what were the X-Men games from like PS2 era? Was that X-Men Legends and X-Men Legends 2?
Where you pick like the different X-Men.
There's like four top-down beat 'em up
Legends,
kinda.
Legends 2, yeah.
Well, what about Guardians?
I haven't played
Guardians is
Guardians.
good too.
I hear it's good, but I'm just
It's good, but it's not like it's not Batman Arkham Asylum, and it's not 2018 Marvel Spider-Man. It's good, but it holds up. I'll give it like that. It holds up, but it's nothing compared to this.
It's surprise. The other thing about this is it's what Ubisoft did next, or not Ubisoft. Who am I thinking of? Insomniac. It's what Insomniac did after doing some indie stuff and after doing Sunset Overdrive, which really cool that they made that transition, but also like it locked them up for doing Marvel stuff for how long has it been now?
A long time now. Like because they're working on a Wolverine. Yeah, they're working on a Wolverine game now.
So we're looking at
because this was so good.
10 years of Insomniac doing Marvel stuff, and now I'm just thinking like, when do you guys get back to the other stuff?
I'm sure they will, but honestly, the products they've given us with this so far has been fantastic. I'm okay with that. But give them time. I'd rather Ratchet and Clank take a little bit longer, or a Jack remastered or redone.
Mm-hmm.
So that way, if one, it's perfect, and two, we get good shit like this in between.
I'd rather them be trying to, because Insomniac they were the
Jack
company.
And Dexter.
Insomniac, yeah, you meant Ratchet and Clank.
Ratchet and Clank.
Insomniac was, well, first of all, I was completely surprised that they weren't under Sony's wing for the longest time. I think they got bought up in 2017, 2016, something like that.
I think so, yeah.
And then, but between after PS3, they did all of the Resistance games, which were really innovative, and then you jump a generation. Yeah, they still have the Ratchet and Clank going on, but that's like their safety safe. That's like, oh hey, we're doing this. This is what we do. This is what it's Ratchet and Clank at that point is kind of like Sony's their staple game. Like, hey, this is our new console. Look at how good Ratchet and Clank looks on this.
Yep.
But in that time, Insomniac's also experimenting. They're like, okay, Sunset Overdrive for Microsoft. Let's do it. Let's play around with movement. Let's play around with like this schlocky story and these punk attitude dudes. And then they did Song of the Deep, which was that 2D submarine game produced by GameStop of all places. And that one didn't hit, but like I appreciated they were trying different things. Whereas Naughty Dog was locked up, like, all right, guys, we got all these Uncharted games, we got The Last of Us 1 and 2, and then you look at like Sucker Punch. Sucker Punch kept doing their superhero game, and now they're doing Ghost of Tsushima. Yeah, I always appreciated Insomniac doing something different. And now it feels like they're locked down into this one thing. Which, if they're fine, and they're fun. That's good, but. I'm just like, I want to see what else they can do though.
But that's why I like the fact that they're doing Wolverine next, because it's not gonna be Spider-Man. It's a whole different character. There's so much you can do with that.
Big if true, Josh. Big if true. They better give us an M-rated Wolverine. I better be able to chop someone into pieces.
Yeah, I feel like Wolverine's gonna come out around the time the new Deadpool movie comes out. I feel like they're gonna like pull some type of reference or fourth wall on that game.
I can see that.
Wait, didn't they say? Wasn't there that tweet or that story where they were like, "Hey, the Wolverine game is gonna be a hard R," and everyone's like, "Hard R."
Yeah.
Why are you saying it like that?
Wait, that's
Wolverine.
No. Do you guys think it's gonna be Hugh Jackman, or is it just gonna be some random?
I think it's gonna be no, it's gonna be his voice actor, the guy who did Cowboy Bebop. He was God, what's his name?
Spike or the other guy?
Yeah, Spike. Yeah, so he did Spike's voice. He remember the old Nickelodeon Wolverine or X-Men Wolverine show. He was that Wolverine. I think it's gonna be him. I think that's what they said. Actually, it was gonna be him.
I couldn't tell you. I don't think it'll be Hugh Jackman. I don't think Hugh Jackman does a lot of voice acting, if I'm being honest.
Yeah, I don't know if he does any.
I think he's one of those
no,
actors
he
that-
has actually. I think he has done.
Oh, never mind. I foot, meat, mouth.
Yeah, hang on, let me check.
All right, Spider-Man. Thank you for keeping the city safe. You're still a fucking menace.
Yeah, Steve Bloom. He's the guy who did Spike, and he did the original X-Men, not original X-Men, but the X-Men Wolverine show that was on Nickelodeon back in like the early, maybe mid 2000s. He voiced Wolverine, and he's actually going to be the voice for him in the game.
What and is that a 2025 expected game?
I think it's 2024.
Oh, that's really cool. I guess they do have a few teams at Insomniac, probably just between the two games. Guys, we did it. We're almost through 2018. We got one more queue to go. But in the meantime, Josh, you got some old news for us?
I do, and yes, it is 2024.
Read all about it. Latest football scores. Morning paper. Morning Star. Paper, mister?
It's time for old news.
Oh, sweet. All right, Josh, let's
yeah.
do some
Start
news.
Start from the top here. August 20th through 25th, the International 2018, a Dota 2 tournament with the largest prize pool in esports history, was held at the Rogers Arena in Canada.
The International.
See, I know this one now because doing this podcast with you guys, had we not been doing this, I would have no idea what the International is.
Who won 2018, Nick? I know.
Oh, is it a team I would know? Is it FaZe Clan?
Oh my god.
Close. Well, I mean, it's a
Did you
team you
say
would know. It's a team you would know, but it's
Team Liquid.
No. I don't think you would know.
Okay,
I don't think Nick knows.
all right. Tell me who it is then.
It's OG, man.
Oh, that would have been my like fifth guess.
I bet it wouldn't have been.
So they won the money. What was the pot, Josh?
okay. So OG won $11,190,158. PSG Legend earned $4 million in second place. Evil Geniuses third place, $2.6 million. Team Liquid in fourth, 1.7.
I knew them.
And then fifth and sixth was Team Secret and Virtuous Pro, 1.1 million.
What you guys don't know is that OG have been the only team ever to win twice, 2 years in a row.
So they win 2019 as well, don't they?
Yes.
Yeah, that's
Was
what I thought.
2020 canceled by chance? Or did they play it online?
It may have been online. I'm checking now. No, it was skipped. It goes straight to 2021. So yeah, it was canceled. Yeah.
You guys need to watch or read about Team OG.
Like
Cinderella
OG,
story.
like original gangster, right? OG.
Yeah.
Okay.
From there, we got a little bit of sad news. August 26th, mass shooting occurred at Madden NFL 19 tournament in Jacksonville, Florida, with the shooter, a participant in the tournament who lost, killing 2 people and injuring 10 others before committing suicide.
Gotta be honest, I didn't
actually remember that one.
Gotta be honest,
I
I
do
did not
remember that.
see this coming from a Madden tournament. I figured this would have happened at the International.
I figured it would have been Call of Duty of all things.
Call of Duty, yeah.
I can see Call of Duty happening, but not
So,
Madden.
I remember seeing the clip too. The guy lost, and apparently he went out to his car.
Yeah, and he came right back in while they were like getting the next game up.
live, and you
Yeah.
see a red dot on one of the guy's shirt,
That's fucked.
and then it's bad.
Yeah.
But not
Yeah.
totally surprising. The way things are going.
I mean, first off, it's Florida. Let's face it right now.
Well, I bet you this guy. I bet you this guy played with the Jaguars. $100 says he played with the Jaguars.
Jesus.
He was a hometown hero, and then he got fucking stomped out by someone playing Buccaneers.
Oof. Moving on.
Yes, save
September-
us.
September 18th, Capcom Vancouver shut down.
What were the Van Canucks doing?
I'm glad you asked. So before they were Blue Castle Games, they did like the Dead Rising 2 and all of its like affiliates like Case Zero and Case West. And then when they became Capcom Vancouver in 2010, they did all the other Dead Rising. So Off the Record, 3, The Collection, Dead Rising 4.
Okay, so this was in the making. This was gonna happen because those
Yeah, this was
after
bound to happen.
after Dead Rising 2, like the goat was kind of giving up. It's like, guys, we don't know, we're good. We don't need all this.
I mean, 3 was like interesting because it was like actually in a city, and that was the only interesting thing about it.
Well,
Like
the
everything
thing
else
3
is
had
just
going,
typical.
the thing 3 had going against it was that it was coming out on the Xbox One, which was facing all the backlash for the always online stuff they had announced and then backpedaled. I think it was an Xbox exclusive because Microsoft was publishing it because Capcom didn't really want to fund it.
Yep.
So 3 had everything going against it, and then 4 was just fan service going back to Frank West.
Yep. The only thing 4 had interesting going for it was spoiler alert for a 5-year-old game now, 6-year-old game. Whatever, I don't care.
Go ahead, spoil it. You've said worse on this. You've said worse on this stream.
Well, Frank becomes a zombie.
Well, didn't he have a fake?
Man,
Didn't he have a fake
I wanted
name?
to know.
Didn't they call
He
him
did.
Hank East at one point or something like that?
Yeah, something like that.
Yes.
And then he's a zombie who's able to like still like have his mind and stuff, and he goes and creates a cure, which is just like, why? Like all these other heroes have to fucking find this serum or have to make it for like their family, but Frank, he can't stay a zombie, we have to make him human again.
People love Frank West, damn it. He's a household name. We need him.
He was after the first. Honestly, I honestly want to play Case West, Dead Rising 2 Case West, just because I know they change up the story a little bit to like show Frank off. That's the only reason why I want to play that one. That's it. Don't care for. I've played 2. I've beaten 2, 100%.
I just want to snap
Didn't care
photos
for
as
it.
Frank again. Nice. Boop, 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 boop. Getting all the PP.
Yeah, that's about it. Moving forward, September 21st, Telltale Games announced a majority studio closure, laying off more than 90% of its staff and canceling several in-progress games.
I remember where I was when this was announced. I was in Chicago heading home from a comedy show. And I was driving home. And they announced this news, but then they were like, but some of the games might come back. So I guess they fired everyone and then were like trying to contract people out to finish some of their obligations.
And they couldn't do that.
I
No one
think
wanted to do that.
they were able to finish some stuff, but it's just, and now they're back in some capacity. It's just mind-boggling.
Well, I mean, seeing as they only create one genre of game, like it's just different IPs. That's all it is.
They went too hard. They had a really good one in Walking Dead episode 1, and then they're like, hey, give us your stuff. Game of Thrones, Guardians of the Galaxy, Batman,
Borderlands.
the Borderlands people, the Wolf Among Us people.
But see,
Minecraft.
At least with Borderlands, I liked what they were doing, especially the scene where you go in and you have that fake shootout. That was like, it was hilarious because it's just like so fucking random. Shit like that was good, but yeah, like you said, they went way too hard too quickly. Too many IPs involved. You didn't spread it out.
When the shit back, what was that, 2012 when Walking, like it was already dated back then. Like it was already feeling clumsy and yucky. And people don't want to wait for like 3 months apart for like each episode.
Yeah.
It's not something people do.
No, don't do episodes. Just give me the full game.
Yeah. The whole damn.
You make more money that way.
You can still split it up and like the game that way, but like no, you're not getting $10 now and then $10 3 months from now. I want the whole fucking thing.
Give me the full $60.
Come on.
Yeah, so that was bound to happen.
R.I.P. and welcome back, I guess, Telltale Games.
But we're going to end this on some great news. I know it's been really shitty, but some great news. September 26th, Sony Interactive Entertainment revises its policy on cross-platform play and allows PlayStation 4 players of Fortnite Battle Royale to matchmake across all supported platforms.
Let's go. I play Fortnite with my PS4 buddies all the time for my PC. This was a good move. This was finally some resolution to all the cross-platform bullshit going on like years beforehand.
They were
with, like,
the
Rocket
only
League and everybody.
Yeah,
They were the only ones who were fighting back because Xbox is like, yeah, let's do it. PC said, yeah, let's do it. Nintendo, of all people, said, yeah, let's do it.
Nintendo
And Sony's like,
fucking unwraps the condoms. Is like, let's go.
it cracked me up that Sony was just so hardcore. Like, no, we're not going to do this. Fuck them.
Because they had the
Like,
lead. They had the lead. Like, fuck.
Yeah, they had the lead, but guess what?
Fuck the console wars and everyone who gets like caught up in them. But like Sony was like, no, we own a big chunk of the market share. We don't need to do this.
I just think of the South Park episode where it's basically Game of Thrones.
Oh, and they're beating the and it's Steve Jobs versus I forget the Sony exec, but they're fighting it out.
Yeah, it's just I just keep thinking of the scene where
Not
they
Steve
get to
Jobs, Bill Gates.
Bill Gates.
Bill Gates beats the shit out of him. He's like, all right, boys, it's over. Go get your Xboxes.
I just remember the part where it gets to the Sony exec and it's basically Game of Thrones. He's fucking that random girl.
the Xbox, they just stepped in their own shit and they couldn't get out of their own way. And by the time they wiped the shit off their shoe, everyone was already like, hey, there's shit on that shoe. We don't want to fuck with that. And that's why Sony, like if Sony was in last place, like if Sony was like, nah, like, but if they're in last place, they would have been like, yeah, we'll do it. But Microsoft would have sang another tune. So it's easy to make a bad guy.
All in all, at this point, console players have one thing that they can at least bond together with other than cross-platform, and that's that all PC Master Race assholes are assholes.
Hey, man, I'm kind of drinking the PC Master Race tea.
I mean, I am too, but I always think of those videos where it shows like the PC Master Race, they're like gods, and they watch like the consoles fight each other, and he's like, oh, with my 64 gigabytes of RAM.
Well, they used to post memes about not being able to play Zelda, but Zelda, the Breath of the Wild at least emulated like perfectly. So is Dread, so is Metroid Dread. So I don't think PC players feel too left out on any front at this point.
Maybe like in the Xbox One / PS4, but at this point, like it's just exclusive. They're starting to bring them over. So at this point, you're right. PC just about has everything.
It's the PS3 games. Like you can you can transfer everything but a PS3 game. Scientists are just like, hey, the cure for cancer and for getting PS3 games to run on anything else, we signed.
Hey, and they've made some bounds and leaps though. There's a bunch of games you can emulate now from the PS3.
Hey, look, we can cure your lung cancer. We just can't let you play Metal Gear Solid 4 on the PC perfectly. We're sorry.
PC Master Race.
Josh, thank you for the news. This was all some good news. Jake, you got a meme for us?
Me
time.
I got two memes for you. It kind of just reminded me that this one's kind of a Spider-Man and a Raid Shadow Legends meme if you think about it.
It worked out pretty well for you there.
Yeah. Everywhere I go, I see his face.
Raid Shadow Legends.
Like, come on. Like, it's... And
Today's video was sponsored by Raid Shadow Legends.
I think I'd rather see ads for Raid Shadow Legends or, like, actually be sponsored by Raid Shadow Legends because people are more likely probably going to, like, make a fake account or start an account or just use the code, whatever, other than, like, HelloFresh and these other, like maybe DoorDash. I don't know. You might make a DoorDash account, but like some of those are just too expensive. No one's gonna like use those, you know?
Sure. What is your what is your next meme? You can if you want to read the whole thing. So for those at home, don't feel bad that you can't read this. Jake's going to.
Oh, Jake's gonna read the whole damn thing.
I'm gonna botch it. When I'm done, half humanity will still be alive. But first, a word from our sponsor. Raid Shadow Legends. Have you heard of them? Raid is a turn-based RPG which can be played on both Android and iOS devices. Oh, and PC, by the way, if you guys didn't know that. And I even downloaded it myself. Generally found myself to be having so much fun. And the best part, it is completely free. So you really got nothing to lose. It's decent graphics for mobile game, PvP battles, campaign story, giant boss fights, and rage you could carry out with other players. Every month, the game will add 14 new champions, meaning the gameplay stays fresh as you can play with new strategies and balance, and compete in certain missions to help you give the progression rewards. But you don't have to take my word for it, as there are 15 million other people who have downloaded the game, and it is currently one of the top 3 ranked RPGs on the Google Play Store. So if you want to give it a go, click my personal link in the description below. Not only get the game, but you receive an extra 50,000 silver plus a free Epic Champion as part of a new player program that we are testing. Thank you so much for watching, guys, and thank you for Raid for sponsoring this video.
Jesus Christ.
What's sad is just as soon as Jake started talking and saying all that stuff, my brain went to every fucking YouTube video that had that spot, and it was like the script for it.
For everyone listening, I want you to know that Raid Shadow Legends is not sponsoring this show.
They are definitely not. Like at this point, I kind of wish they were, because we actually just gave them free fucking sponsorship.
No, we're gonna bleep. We're gonna bleep it all out.
That was a script. That was a script.
We're gonna bleep Jake's whole diatribe.
Imagine the title of the video just being not sponsored by Raid Shadow.
It's not. That's not a bad title, Jake. Well, I'm gonna put it in the running.
Live, but first, not a sponsor. But first.
So now is typically the point of the show where we usually have a quiz, or we have something called a speed cap that we do. We're going to do something a little differently today. Before we get into that, again, rate and review us wherever you get your podcast. 5 stars, kind words, we'll take them all, please. Check out our people over on Trident Network. A lot of great podcasts over there. And yeah, just, drop by, give us some words, guys. We really do appreciate that kind of stuff. Today, actually, we're doing something a little different. Josh has not seen the last trailer for The Legend of Zelda: Tears of the Kingdom, so we're gonna watch it live here. I know this isn't going to, but we're gonna watch it and we're gonna talk through it. I know that's not for you audio folks. That may not be ideal. We've got the audio tuned down so you're not getting ear blasted. Video's gonna be a lot better for you if you want to watch that over there. Me and Jake have seen this. I think it's an okay trailer. We're going to watch this trailer, and then we're all going to guess what the final Metacritic score for the game is going to be after like the first week or first 2 weeks of release. So let's hop over. You guys got your trailer ready?
Yep. I'm ready to play it when you are.
All right. We're going to hit it in 3, 2, 1.
Actually, I think I timed it perfectly with Nick.
No, did you click it at 1 or after 1?
See, I don't know about these fucking islands, you guys. Just seems like, because they had stuff like that in Breath of the Wild, right? Not like a lot of it.
I don't think so.
Our hero.
Oh, look at that, he's falling. I hope he goes splat.
He's so edgy with one glove on. Now, this is actually a sequel to Breath of the Wild, right?
Yeah, like a direct follow-up. I think even Ganon's in here.
Is he like falling at the end of this first one?
No.
See, I don't remember what happened at the end of the first one.
I'll tell you in a minute.
There's your sand dungeon.
Dude, look, it's Hollow Bastion.
See, now when I saw that guy, I thought about the fire boss from Twilight Princess that they kept showing off a lot. Why does he run like an anime kid?
Because
Got the Resident Evil lasers in there.
Zelda, we rely on your knight and that legendary sword he carries.
now was there voice
The last
acting
line of
in the
defense
first
will
one?
be Link.
I don't think so. There's already so much Rule 34 of her, I bet.
Probably.
Now, see, I like the walking enemy with the enemies on his back. I think that's really cool.
I know why I am here. It's something only I can
Of course.
Destiny.
Do not look away. You witness a king's revival and the birth of his new world.
A voice actor. Sounds familiar.
Okay, let's go! But you are not alone.
Link. You are our final hope.
But you just said that he's not alone.
I don't know, man.
I feel like the game, like it's gonna be good, but people are gonna have things to complain about, like every game.
I don't think this is
I
going
mean,
to be well received. I think well it's Zelda, so people are going to like suck its balls and be like, "Oh, the greatest game I ever played. My dad came back from getting cigarettes because of this game." Like, no, just stop. Just stop.
So first off, to answer Jake's question earlier about what happened at the end of 1, you fight, I forget what they call it, but it's like the manifestation of evil of Ganon, basically. Link defeats them, and it's kind of like Hyrule goes back to its normal self. Princess Zelda is free from her restraining Ganon, basically, and they go off on an adventure, which is where this one like takes place like after it. It's, I don't know the timeline as far as that goes, but they're exploring, I guess, Hyrule and all the past stuff, and they come across, I guess, it's Ganon's burial place. Is like his body.
So
And they
question.
end up unleashing it.
Are there a lot of the same, like, from what you saw there, Josh, are there a lot of the same characters from the first one?
Yeah, so I recognized a couple of the characters when Link was grouped up with them. A couple of them were like the villagers you end up like in the first Breath of the Wild, or in Breath of the Wild, you can create your own village. So not create your own village, but you basically create a village from like scratch. Like you watch it build up, like it's a brand new village compared to what you find.
Right.
So some of the characters I did see in there, and then a couple of the characters you meet in each of the kingdoms, like the Zoras basically. I saw him in there. He's like the general or the right hand man who helps you in like one of the dungeons.
Mhm.
So I did recognize a few of the characters in there. And there was a few new ones, and they didn't have voice acting in Breath of the Wild. I think they had voice acting in the Hyrule Warriors, which is it's the
Dynasty Warriors.
yeah, Dynasty Warriors
game,
equivalent, and it's set. It's like the prequel to Breath of the Wild.
Really? I didn't know
Yeah.
that.
I think, I mean, just based off that description of there being a lot of repeat characters, I think they're going for Majora's Mask angle here.
Which, I mean, I honestly, some of the parts that I saw in there kind of reminded me of Twilight Princess a little bit.
And while I'm at it, like I was guessing that the islands were were a few from Breath of the Wild, but the islands remind me a lot of Mario University. Mario, what was
Odyssey? Or
what was the
Galaxy.
Wii one?
Galaxy.
Mario Galaxy, just standalone areas, and you're just traversing from them. I don't know.
See,
like,
I mean, it's like
I'm-
Skyward Sword, almost.
Well,
Yeah,
Skyward
wasn't-
Sword takes place up in the sky in general. Like, that's the beginning of the legend. That's where
I just wonder what this is going to do that's different. Breath of the Wild changed open world games in a time where everything was stale. Before that, Twilight Princess did the wolf stuff and gave it like a more dark feeling. Wind Waker before that was the ocean and cartoony. Like,
based on what I see, I feel like it's going to do something with the ability to build stuff, because we saw Link writing that. I can see that because it looks like some of the abilities, like so in the Breath of the Wild, I forget what it's called, the Sheikah tablet. You could do things like you can make the bomb. That's how you got your bombs, and you could freeze time. You can use magnets on certain objects, stuff like that. I wonder if it takes that mechanic and just adds more to it, giving you the ability to build different machines. Because we saw Link use a rocket hand to go up. We saw him riding that robot-looking thing that was basically doing this. It could just be a vehicle in there, but it just looked like someone built it. It didn't look like it was like an in-game thing.
So why? I never actually played Breath of the Wild because I didn't want to Switch. Why was it called Breath of the Wild?
because of the
Well,
exploration aspect
It's
of it.
exploration, yeah.
So there wasn't anything that was like, oh, this is the breath of the wild.
Well,
like
Breath of the Wild is like a saying, Jake. It just means like
Some weird guy in the forest is like, Link, come here. I want to put the breath of the wild in your mouth.
because like in this one, the trailer, Zelda's holding a tear.
Right. Well, it's okay. So, Jake, in this one, the one aspect that really doesn't get like explained very well, and I think they're going to explain it in this one, is the Master Sword isn't as powerful as it has been. So, for example, when you pull it out for the first time after getting so many hearts by going through all the different shrines of the hero, it loses its power eventually to the point where you have to return it to the pedestal to like recharge.
Well, I mean, they kind of did that with I think Wind Waker was one of the first ones where it's like, oh, I got the Master Sword,
But it's not unlocked. It wasn't unlocked.
Yeah, exactly.
Well, this one is it's unlocked and everything. It's losing its power, which is why in the trailer we saw when Ganon, or what we assume is Ganon, was trying to fuse with Link, it was covering the Master Sword. Before it wouldn't even touch it, but now it's actually starting to cover the Master Sword. And I wonder if this is the one where they finally give us a definitive timeline, like where they start to connect all the games. Because, like I said, I saw things. I saw like a couple of like enemies in there, like specifically when Link was on that rail cart fighting the enemy, that looked like the helmet to the Twilight Princess.
I just want Link to turn to somebody, like, you know, like if it's the mask from Majora's Mask, and like he like accidentally makes. I want like some cool callbacks to that. I feel like there's never really any callbacks. It's always like Easter eggs. It's like, oh hey, there's that mask, like, but no real like callbacks to anything.
I mean, like I said, I want there to be some like. I want Nintendo to finally be like, all right, let's give the fans what they've been wanting for years. Let's give them a timeline. Let's make all these games connect.
Yeah, I want a Zelda game where it's like different chapters.
I can't wait for Link to turn over to Princess Zelda and be like, "This is what are we? Some kind of Tears of the Kingdom?" That's what I want. I want them to say the name.
He said it. He said it.
He said it. Oh my God, he said it. So to end this conversation, so Breath of the Wild has a 97 on Metacritic. First week after reviews are out for Tears of the Kingdom. Where do you guys think this is on Metacritic?
It's probably going to be 93.
See, I'm going to give it 10 points below. I'm going to give it like an 87.
Damn, those are both really good answers. Man, people are really going to suck this game's balls.
So I think people are going to suck its balls because it's Zelda. But I think the hardcore Breath of the Wild people who absolutely love it will find something to hate and be like, oh, they couldn't just keep this, or oh, they changed this too much.
And that's the thing about these Nintendo games. Like, they all get a very high score out the gate, but then like years down the line is like, this one sucks. This one really sucks.
No, I still think it'll do good. I think it's definitely going to have its cult following. But I think people are still going to be hung up on the fact that Breath of the Wild just revolutionized Zelda.
I'm going to go with an even 90. So Jake has 93, Josh has 87, and I'm somewhere in the middle at 90.
Look, with new games these days, people just want to speedrun them. This game's going to get speedrun like first few days, just like every damn game into 2023, 2022.
People ain't got that much time. We got to get to work, man. Everyone's got to work. Well, hey, we're gonna check back on those scores. Game comes out May 12th, I believe. So
yes.
we'll check sometime in May and see who was right on that one. Maybe we'll put a little punishment on there for whoever was furthest away, even though we're all like in the same ballpark. Hey, and that's the show. That is.
I
the
mean, you
show.
think about it.
What, Jake?
The chances of you not getting punished is very high compared to Josh and I, since you're in the middle.
Yeah. Hey, you got to take risks sometimes, and that's what I'm doing. Hey, that's the show. Thank you for hanging out with us today, everyone. This recording goes up on YouTube and wherever you get your podcasts Monday mornings. So if you want to get caught up on anything you missed, you can do that there. Again, we are part of Trident Network. Check out our siblings. Rate and review us wherever you get your podcast. I'm your host, Nick. You can find me on Twitter at That Kaufman. You can also find me here on Twitch at Nick Fat Night. Go ahead and give it a follow if you haven't already. You can also find me on YouTube at Nick Fat Night as well. Josh, where can the people find you?
You can find me just about anywhere at I am Josh Sang or I'm Josh Sang. I mean, it's I'm Josh Sang. I don't know why I said I am. I failed that one.
Oh, you fucked up. Hey, this is what happens when you
Hey,
go
my
live.
one compared to you five. So
Hey,
Thank you for
if you type in "I am Josh Sane," you will go to a porn site.
Yeah, be careful. Jake, where can the people find you?
You find me on Twitter, on Twitch, YouTube, TikTok, and Facebook. Surprisingly, at Jakey Boy Kaufman.
Thanks, Jake. And you can find Smashing Game Time on any social media network. We have an Instagram, we have a TikTok, we have a Twitter. Well, Twitter is still up. We also have a YouTube. Go check those out. As always, thank you to Alex Marvin Clark for our intro and outro song, Hunt Him Down. Go ahead and check our show notes. We have a link to his SoundCloud where all his awesome stuff is. Go check Alex's music out. Really great guy. Guys, this has been Smashing Game Time. We hope each and every one of you had a smashing great time. We will see all of you next time.